Prince Harry has once again sent shockwaves of fear through the royal family after it was revealed that he is planning to release a tell-all memoir about his life in the monarchy and his bombshell decision to quit his royal duties. The Duke of Sussex has secretly been working on the memoir for the past year and has since sold the book to publishers at Penguin Random House for an undisclosed amount. His book marks the first time that a senior royal has written this kind of tell-all, and the news of its existence comes amid an ongoing and increasingly bitter rift between Harry and Meghan and the rest of the royal family. Thus far, few details about the book's exact contents have been shared. However, Penguin Random House issued a statement in which it revealed Harry's book will provide an intimate and heartfelt look into his life. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have already rocked the royal family to its very core with a series of very damaging allegations about the monarchy, many of which were made during their bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey in March.
How do you feel about the palace hearing you speak your truth today?
I don't know how they could expect that after all of this time, we would still just be silent if there is an active role that the firm is playing in perpetuating falsehoods about us. And if that comes with risk of losing things, there's a lot that's been lost already.
The Duke then added more fuel to the fire during his mental health-focused Apple TV Plus special, The Me You Can't See, with Oprah, which premiered in May.
Then had a son who I'd far rather be solely focused on, rather than every time I look in his eyes, wondering whether my wife is going to end up like my mother and I'm going to have to look after him myself. That was one of the biggest reasons to leave.
But Harry will no doubt have plenty more to share in the pages of his book, which is currently due to be published in late 2022 and which could plunge the royal family into further controversy. So, what bombshell revelations can be expected from the Duke's upcoming tell-all? And will Harry choose to name and shame the people involved? One of the most damaging allegations to come out of Harry and Meghan's primetime interview with Oprah Winfrey was the couple's claim that a senior member of the royal family questioned how dark their son Archie's skin would be. Meghan claimed during the sit-down that member of the firm had several conversations with Prince Harry about the color of their son's skin when she was pregnant. She refused to identify the person in question, saying only that it would be really damaging to them if their name was to be revealed. The allegation sparked a furious controversy, with many demanding to know exactly who had made the comments. After the interview aired, Oprah revealed that Harry had made clear to her that the comments were not made by the Queen or her late husband, Prince Philip. She did not share any other details about their identity.
Let's talk about, the jaw-dropping moment, the first one, about the color of the baby's skin. Yeah. And you asked Harry about it when he came out. He did not tell you who it was. Did you all have another conversation about it? Because that was something that, there's a big guessing game all around the world. Who was it, who was it, who was it? And I thought it was very touching that Harry still is choosing to protect the identity of whoever that was.
Yes, and he did not share the identity with me, but he wanted to make sure that I knew, and if I had an opportunity to share it, that it was not his grandmother nor his grandfather that were a part of those conversations.
However, given the increasingly acrimonious relationship between the couple and the rest of the royal family, Harry may well choose to name the person involved in his memoir, which would no doubt spark a furious backlash and could well prompt an investigation into that royal's behavior. There has been plenty of speculation about what exactly caused the fallout between Harry and his older brother William, with the former giving little information away during recent interviews, only telling Oprah that there is space between the two of them and that they are on different paths.
I love William to bits. He's my brother. We've been through hell together, and we have a shared experience. But we were on different paths. The relationship is space at the moment, and time heals all things, hopefully.
The rift between the brothers has certainly been made all the more severe by Harry and Meghan's decision to repeatedly blast the monarchy in such public forums, and it is understood the relations between the siblings are at their lowest point.
About anything.
Sir, have you spoken to your brother since the interview?
No, I haven't spoken to him yet, but I will do.
And can you just let me know, is the royal family a racist family, sir?
No, we're very much not a racist family.
However, it is understood that tensions between the once inseparable Harry and William began long before the former sat down in front of a camera to air his grievances about the firm to the world. According to royal historian and biographer Robert Lacey, Signs of tension between Harry and William began in the early 2000s, when the younger sibling found himself at the center of a drug scandal. In Lacey's book, Battle of Brothers, he suggests that Harry felt abandoned by his brother during this time, and this resulted in a serious rift between the siblings. However, it has been widely reported that their most recent rift began amid bullying accusations against Meghan, who is alleged to have pushed several staff members at Kensington Palace into quitting, claims that she has vehemently denied. Lacey has claimed that William approached Harry to discuss a dossier of distress that had been compiled about Meghan's behavior. However, that conversation quickly turned into a bitter argument, which became so heated that William threw Harry out. Although Harry hinted at the rift in his interview with Oprah, his book could well offer much more detail about his relationship with his brother, and finally bring to light the prince's views on what exactly sparked the fallout in the first place. Another shock allegation made by Prince Harry during his interview with Oprah was his claim that his father had stopped taking his calls during the build-up to Megxit, before cutting him off financially when the Sussexes moved to the US. Harry claimed that his brother and father are both trapped in the royal family, before revealing that he and Charles were not on speaking terms after his father stopped picking up the phone.
With that relationship and that control and the fear by the UK tabloids, it's a toxic environment. But I will always be there for him. I will always be there for my family.
According to Harry, Charles refused to continue speaking with his son about his plans for Megxit after he took matters into his own hands out of concern for his own mental health and that of his wife and son. Much like William, Charles has never addressed his relationship or rift with Harry. However, it may be that the Duke of Sussex has plenty more to say on the matter, and he could well choose to once again discuss his father's behavior, this time in the pages of his book, rather than in a TV interview. The book could also provide Harry with the opportunity to address his upbringing, something that he touched upon briefly during an appearance on Dax Shepard's mental health-focused podcast, Armchair Expert, when he assessed his father's parenting. During the interview, Harry claimed that Charles had suffered because of his upbringing by the Queen and Prince Philip, and that the Prince of Wales had then treated me the way he was treated, calling it genetic pain. In the opening minutes of her interview with Oprah, Meghan made a shock claim about her relationship with Kate Middleton, accusing the Duchess of Cambridge of making her cry in the lead-up to her wedding to Prince Harry. Rumors of an argument between Meghan and Kate made headlines around the world after Meghan and Harry's royal wedding in May 2018. However, it was initially reported that the argument over a flower girl's dress had left the Duchess of Cambridge in tears, and not the other way around, as Meghan told Oprah. A source said at the time, Kate had only just given birth to her third child, Prince Louis, and was feeling quite emotional. When asked about the fallout, Meghan insisted that the reverse happened. Meghan added that it was shocking that the reverse of that would be out in the world. Harry has never addressed the rumors and reports about a fallout between his wife and his sister-in-law. However, his new book could well mark the first time that he chooses to voice his own opinions about the relationship between the two women. In the wake of his Bombshell TV and podcast interviews, Harry has returned to the UK to reunite with his family on just 2 occasions. The first reunion took place in April 2021, when the Duke of Sussex flew to London to attend the funeral of his grandfather, Prince Philip, who was in hospital recovering from surgery when Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview first aired. His second trip home took place in July 2021, when he traveled to the UK in order to unveil a statue in honor of his late mother, Princess Diana. On both occasions, there was a great deal of speculation about the reception that Harry might have received from his relatives, many of whom are said to be incredibly upset and angry over the public bashings dished out to the monarchy by Harry and Meghan over the past year. Although the Duke is said to have met privately with William, Charles, and the Queen during these trips, Harry himself has never spoken out about what it was like to reunite with the royals following the furious controversy that arose from his numerous interviews. The Sussexes' decision to name their daughter Lilibet after the Queen's childhood nickname sparked furious debate and much backlash, with many questioning whether they had sought permission from the monarch before announcing their second child's moniker publicly. In the days after Lilibet Lily Diana's birth, a briefing war broke out between the couple and the palace, after senior Buckingham Palace sources told the BBC's royal correspondent Johnny Diamond that the Queen was never asked for her opinion on the couple's choice of name. However, Harry hit back within 90 minutes of the BBC's report being published through a statement from his and Meghan's close friend Omid Scobie that insisted the Queen was the first person the Duke called after the birth of his daughter. Harry, who together with wife Meghan announced they were expecting a girl during their interview with Oprah in March, took things a step further mere hours after his rebuttal of the report, threatening the BBC with legal action through law firm Schillings. Days before Meghan and Harry's bombshell interview with Oprah was due to air, The Times published an article in which it claimed that the Duchess of Sussex had been accused of bullying several members of staff at Kensington Palace. The Times reported that a complaint had been lodged against Meghan in October 2018 by a senior member of staff at the palace, the Sussex's former communications secretary Jason Knopf. However, soon after the report was published, Harry and Meghan hit back in a statement issued by their lawyers, who accused Buckingham Palace of using the Times to peddle a wholly false narrative based on misleading and harmful misinformation about the Duchess of Sussex just days before the couple's CBS interview was due to be broadcast. During their interview with Oprah, both Harry and Meghan accused the palace of failing to protect them against the media. However, the couple did not address the bullying allegations specifically during their interview, which is understood to have been taped before the accusations were publicly reported, and the book would therefore give Harry the perfect forum to air his opinions on the scandal publicly for the first time. If Harry chooses to use his book as an opportunity to name and shame the people who have come under attack from the Sussexes, then he may well take the chance to call out the members of the royal family whose attitudes towards the couple changed in the wake of their official tour of Australia in 2018. The Duke hinted that certain royals were jealous of his wife following the success of the couple's trip, and the incredibly positive reaction that Meghan received during their tour. Oprah then drew parallels between Harry's accusations and scenes from the most recently series of The Crown, in which Charles is seen growing increasingly jealous of Princess Diana, and the incredibly positive reception she received as the couple took part in their own tour of Australia in 1983. Harry refused to confirm whether he thought other royals were envious of Meghan, but said, "I just wish that we would all learn from the past." He did not disclose whether the changes in attitude he was referring to applied to the entire royal family, or whether he was commenting on the behavior of specific people, something that may well be brought to light in his as yet entitled memoir. The Duke made expressly clear his fears about history repeating itself in regards to Princess Diana's death and Meghan's treatment at the hands of the media, telling Oprah during their Apple TV Plus series that his mother was chased to death while in a relationship with someone who wasn't white. Diana died in 1997 alongside Egyptian film producer Dodi Al Fayed, who she had been dating for several months, although an inquest ruled that Princess Diana and her partner died as a result of the grossly negligent driving of Henry Paul, who was 3 times over the drink drive limit at the time of the crash. Harry said he felt there were clear parallels between himself and his mother, particularly after he began dating a person of color. However, the Duke has not yet spoken out in great detail about his mother's experiences within the royal family, or her treatment at the hands of the monarchy, much of which has been compared in great detail to Meghan's statements about her life in the palace. The book's blurb notes that his tell-all will touch upon the losses that have helped to shape him, suggesting that his mother's life and death will be featured in some capacity, providing him with the chance to speak out about her experiences in the royal family.